Well, hello everybody. I'm back with another update for hopefully a way to make posting your videos of your online Zoom classes to Canvas a little bit easier. Previously, what needed to be done was you would record your Zoom lecture, usually to the computer that you're working on during the lecture, and then you would take that recording, upload it to YouTube, and then from YouTube, you would have to copy the link and post it back to your module. But luckily, one of the downsides with that was that usually, in order to get the students able to view that lecture from your Canvas page for the class, that lecture had to be made public, meaning anyone could have access to that if they searched for your page. Now, most of our lectures have no sensitive information in it, but especially if you're having conversations with students, you might not necessarily want that lecture to be available to people outside the university or outside that class. So here's a way using Swivl that you can do that pretty quickly and pretty seamlessly. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to start with logging into Swivl. And you are going to go to your profile in Swivl, and you will see down here my info and then settings. A new function that I just learned about last week from the Swivl sales rep is right down here. You can integrate your Zoom with Swivl. And what this does is it automatically will upload any saved Zoom lectures directly to your Swivl library. Okay, so what do you do after that? Well, now you would go to your normal Zoom. You would sign into Zoom and host your meeting as you normally would using the SSO sign-in, the single sign-in. So we'd log in, and we could open our Zoom meetings. It's not going to show the camera right now because I am using the camera for the recording. But what you would do is under your More, you would record to the cloud during your normal lecture. That's a little bit different than you normally would do as opposed to recording on the computer, but you want to record to the cloud. That's what allows the transfer between Zoom and Swivl to work seamlessly. So you would record to the cloud just like you would and host your class. Okay, class is over. I'm going to stop recording as I normally would. End that meeting. Okay. And then in your Zoom sign-in, under your account right here, which you can get to just from Zoom, what I would do is zoom.signin to get to this page. And if you need to sign in, remember, sign in with that single sign-in, the SSO, through the University of Wyoming. Once you get here, if you go over to meetings, you'll have if you go to recordings, you'll have cloud recordings and local recordings. And what you can do is you can see right here, oh, look at this. I recorded my performance in drugs class today. Okay? If I want to look at the file, it's right here. But what has happened before I even need to do anything here, I don't need to download anything. I can just go to Swivl, and I can go to my library within Swivl. And here it is, Zoom meeting September 2nd, 8:55 a.m. That is my 9 a.m. performance in drugs class. Once you are here, in order to get this onto your Canvas page, this is the really, really easy part that I like a lot. From here, you will go over to the ellipses over here, the three dots, and you will click on the embed. You will copy this code from right here, just like that, and it'll give you a little alert that says, okay, embed copied. Once you are done with that, now go to Canvas. So now you're on your Canvas page, and you are going to post this so people can watch it. Go to your pages, just as we did before. You're going to have to view all pages, and we're going to make a new page, and we're going to name this Lecture 5, and that's today's date, 9/2/2020. Here is where you're going to put that code. Before you do that, just click on that HTML editor, because this is hypertext markup link. That's what you're putting in here. Paste that plain text right there. You go back to your rich content editor, and you will see, oh, look at that. There's a little play arrow in there. So now I have automatically linked this page to my Swivl page without having to make it public for other people to be able to view. So I will save and publish this page, okay? Now, if I want this to be in line with my modules, just go back to my modules where I organize all my information. We are in week 2. I will add a page, and here it is, lecture 5, add item. You can make sure that this is published right here by seeing that green arrow. And if I click on this right here, here is lecture 5. And you can see that is playing. There's me popping up in the top corner right there. You can see we are talking about some of the people who are testing the urine samples coming out of the Russian athletes and what might potentially happen to them due to the number of doping agents in those samples themselves. So the cool thing about this right here is this is right in your students' canvas. They don't have to go to other web pages. They can make it full screen just by doing that, and then you can get out of that by doing that. So they can watch it through this. There's no link associated with this. They cannot share this with somebody else. So if you're doing something, having a discussion and you want to make that available to only your students, this makes it a lot more secure. It's also a lot faster because YouTube can take a fair amount of time as well. If you are doing this, just be aware that there is a little bit of a lag. It's between when you finish your Zoom call and when it will be available on Swivl. There is some processing that happens there that can take up to a half an hour or so. If your class is longer, it might take a little bit longer than that. If you have questions about this, make sure to let me know. But this is a nice, easy way to kind of avoid putting things on YouTube and saving yourself a little step by linking up your Zoom classes with your Swivl library.